What's up, Clever Masterminds? Cleverboy86 here. And some of you guys may know, over the past few months, I've kind of been in this phase where I've been really heavy into collecting Blu-rays. I'm a Blu-ray collector. I started my collection back in 2014, so I've been collecting for a few years now. But over the past few months, I've just been buying a lot of Blu-rays. So I figured I would do a Blu-ray update video showing you guys all the Blu-rays I've gotten over the past few months. Tomorrow I'm going to be getting Ralph Breaks the Internet on Blu-ray, and then the following Tuesday I'm going to be getting Creed 2 on Blu-ray. But after that, I'm definitely taking a break from collecting Blu-rays. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more Blu-rays until at least the summer, just because, I want to save my money, and I don't even want to think about how much money I've spent over the past few months on Blu-rays. It's definitely in the hundreds, so yeah, but I definitely want to take a break from collecting Blu-rays, and yeah, so I figured I'd do a Blu-ray update video, just showing you guys all the Blu-rays that I've purchased over the past few months, starting with my Black Friday pickups. Before I get started, I just want to say that I picked up Hereditary on Blu-ray. That was one of my Black Friday pickups, but I don't have it with me right now because my mom's friend is borrowing it. So yeah, I picked up Hereditary on Black Friday, but I just don't have it with me. I think I got it for $8, which was a really good deal. Yeah, anyways, let's get started. I tried to put these in the order that I picked them up in, so I'll start with my Black Friday pickups, and then I'll get into the Blu-rays that I picked up in December, and then January, and all that. So anyways, let's get started. So first up, we've got Incredibles 2, which I think this came out beginning of November. So this wasn't one of my Black Friday pickups, but I figured I'd just include it in this video because yeah, I got this beginning of November, so pretty close to Black Friday. Yeah, Incredibles 2, really great movie. I thought it was a great continuation of The Incredibles, which is one of my favorite Pixar movies. The Incredibles is a movie that I grew up with, and I remember when I was really young, I was 5 or 6, and I remember watching The Incredibles for the first time, and I was I want to see more of these characters. I want to see, more of this story. So I've been waiting for Incredibles 2 for a really long time, and it did not disappoint. So really liked Incredibles 2. And the short film that played before Incredibles 2 in the theaters, Bow, I thought that was a really heartwarming short film, and it actually won, I think, Best Animated Short at the Oscars last night, so really glad that that Bow won, because I really loved it. But anyways, next up, I actually picked this up the same day I got Incredibles 2 on Blu-ray, and that is Season 2 of Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things, super excited for Season 3, which is coming out July 4th. Yeah, I love Stranger Things, and I thought Season 2 was a really good season, except for that one 11 spin-off episode. I thought that shit was dumb. But besides that, I love Season 2 of Stranger Things, and the way this set is packaged is actually pretty cool. So it looks like a VHS tape, because obviously Stranger Things takes place in the 80s, and VHS tapes, that was a thing in the 80s and the 90s. But anyways, then you've got the Blu-ray discs right there, and then behind the Blu-ray discs you've got the DVDs. So it's pretty cool. So I love how the set is packaged. Season 1 is also kind of packaged in a similar way, which I also own that on Blu-ray. I think that looks really cool. But anyway, Stranger Things Season 2, yeah, really great season of Stranger Things, and I'm definitely looking forward to Season 3. But anyways, I've got A Quiet Place. Now we're into my Black Friday pickups. I loved A Quiet Place. It was directed by John Krasinski, who's also the lead actor, and I thought he did a great job with A Quiet Place. It's just such a creepy movie. But anyways, I thought A Quiet Place was a really great movie. I remember going to see this in the theaters, and there were a lot of scenes where there wasn't any dialogue. It was very quiet, and I was scared to eat my popcorn because I didn't want to make any noise. But yeah, I loved A Quiet Place. I thought it was a really great movie, and I definitely want to rewatch this because I haven't gotten the chance to watch it on Blu-ray yet, so I definitely want to give this one a rewatch. But anyways, next up, we've got Ready Player One. I liked Ready Player One. I thought it was a really good movie. I haven't read the book, but I know my dad has read the book, and he really loved the book. But yeah, anyways, we went to see Ready Player One in the theaters, and we both really enjoyed it. So yeah, it definitely made me want to read the book. But yeah, I really enjoyed Ready Player One, and yeah, had a really fun time with this movie. I loved all the pop culture references. I thought those were done really well, and yeah, I just had a really fun time with this movie. But anyways, next up we've got Deadpool 2, and you know, I like Deadpool 2. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the first one in my opinion, but you know, I had a fun time with Deadpool 2. Deadpool was obviously hilarious as usual, and yeah, I had a fun time with this movie, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, because the first one was just really, like, I loved the first Deadpool, but Deadpool 2, I was like, you know, it's a fun time, but for me it just wasn't anywhere near as good as the first movie. Anyways, next up we've got Blade Runner 2049, and I really liked Blade Runner 2049. I feel like I would have enjoyed this movie more if I'd watched the first Blade Runner before going to see this one. But yeah, like I definitely want to watch Blade Runner and then watch Blade Runner 2049, because I watched the first Blade Runner like 4 years ago, and I don't remember anything from it. So yeah, but I liked Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was a really good movie, and yeah. So anyways, next up we've got Avengers Infinity War. You know, what could I say about Infinity War that hasn't already been said? This was just such an epic movie. You know, you had all of the Marvel characters come together, and it was just a really, really great movie. I saw this twice in theaters, and I absolutely loved it. I'm super excited for Avengers Endgame, which is coming out in April. I remember going to see this in theaters for the first time, and I was just so shocked by the ending of this movie. This movie has such a crazy cliffhanger, and I'm glad that they're releasing Infinity War and Endgame 1 year apart, because usually the Avengers movies come out like 3 years apart, but I don't think there's any way fans could wait 3 years after seeing the ending of this movie. So I'm glad that they're releasing them like a year apart. But definitely looking forward to Avengers Endgame, which is coming out this April, and yeah, so anyways, next up we've got Black Panther, and I liked Black Panther. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't one of my favorite Marvel movies, but you know, I liked it. I definitely want to rewatch it. You know, I think if like I rewatch it, I'll enjoy this movie more. But you know, I liked it. I had a fun time with it. It just wasn't one of my favorite Marvel movies. I know some people loved this movie, but for me, you know, it was good, but I didn't love it. I mean, I had a fun time with it, but yeah, I definitely want to give this one a rewatch sometime. I'm actually planning on rewatching all the MCU movies before Avengers Endgame comes out, and I really got to get started on that, because it's already almost March, so I really got to get started on that. But anyways, next up, we've got the Maze Runner Trilogy Steelbooks. I got these on Black Friday for like $15 each, so they weren't on sale or anything. But first up, we've got the Maze Runner, and I liked the Maze Runner. I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. But you know, I liked it. It was a pretty good movie. Then we've got Maze Runner: The Scorched Trials, and this is probably my least favorite out of the trilogy. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of on par with the first movie. You know, it's good, but not great in my opinion. But anyways, then we've got Maze Runner: The Death Cure, which I actually loved The Death Cure. I thought the first two movies really paid off in this film. This was just a really, really great movie in my opinion. There's, like, the last 45 minutes of this movie are just action-packed. And really, there's a lot of action in The Death Cure. I just recently rewatched it about a month ago. And there's a lot of action in The Death Cure from beginning to end, but like the last 45 minutes are just action packed, and I really enjoyed The Death Cure. And I think the first two movies definitely paid off in this movie. But anyways, next up, so those are all my Black Friday buys. But anyways, next up we've got Coco, and I loved Coco. I thought it was a really great Pixar movie. I really wish I'd seen this in the theaters. Yeah, I didn't see this one in the theaters. I really wish I did though. The colors in this movie are amazing. It's just a really beautiful looking movie. The animation is spectacular, and it's a really great movie. And yeah, I loved it. But anyways, next up we've got Million Dollar Baby, and I actually haven't seen Million Dollar Baby, but someone recommended it to me, and I was out Blu-ray shopping, and I saw this for like $7-8, so I ended up picking this up. But I definitely want to check it out. But anyways, next up we've got Hunger Games: Catching Fire, and I ended up double dipping on Catching Fire because I owned the regular Blu-ray, but I saw the digibook for like $9, and I ended up getting the digibook, and then I just sold my other copy of Catching Fire on eBay. So I ended up double dipping, but this is a really cool digibook, and yeah, Catching Fire, in my opinion, is definitely the best out of the Hunger Games movies. Anyways, then we've got Inglourious Basterds. This was directed by Quentin Tarantino, and I haven't seen it, but I definitely want to check it out because I'm a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino. I think he's a great director, so I definitely want to check out Inglourious Basterds sometime. Anyways, then we've got No Escape. I remember seeing this in the theaters, but I don't remember anything about this movie. But yeah, I remember I saw this in the theaters with my mom. I just don't remember anything about it. But anyways, then we've got Call Me By Your Name, which I haven't seen, but I heard really great things about it, so I ended up picking it up. And yeah, so definitely want to check this one out. Then we've got Love, Simon, which I actually really loved this movie. I've seen it like 3 times, and I think it's a really great movie. I remember going to see this in the theaters, and I didn't really know what to expect. I remember my cousins wanted to go see it, and I ended up going with them, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I actually really loved this movie, and yeah, I thought it was a really great movie. Anyways, then we've got Lone Survivor. I haven't seen it, but it's a war movie with Mark Wahlberg. But yeah, I haven't seen Lone Survivor, but I got it for like $5. So yeah. Anyways, then finally we've got Mission Impossible Fallout, which I really liked. Fallout. You know, the Mission Impossible movies are always a fun time. But I really liked Mission Impossible Fallout. But anyways, you know, I like the Mission Impossible movies. They're good movies to go and see in the theaters. You know, just even if you don't understand everything that's going on, you know, they're just good movies to go see. You know, just relax, turn your brain off, have some popcorn, and just enjoy the movie. And yeah, so I like going to see the Mission Impossible movies. But I really enjoyed Fallout, and yeah. So, anyways, next up we've got Sin City. This is a Best Buy exclusive steelbook. I got this for like $10. And I haven't seen Sin City, but I saw the steelbook at Best Buy, and I was like, you know what, $10, I'll pick it up. I definitely want to check it out though, because I've heard some good things about it. But yeah, anyways, next up we've got the Baby Driver steelbook. This is a Best Buy pop art steelbook, and I love this steelbook. This is probably one of my favorite steelbooks in my collection. Yeah, I just think it's a really cool steelbook, and I loved Baby Driver. Anyways, there's the back. I just love the artwork on this steelbook, and yeah, so Baby Driver, really great movie. I've seen it like 4 times, and it's a really great movie. Alright, so next up we've got the Rocky collection on steelbook. This has all 6 movies, obviously, and I got this at Best Buy for 25 bucks, which was a really great deal for 6 movies, plus it comes in a steelbook. You can't really beat that. So yeah. Anyways, I've only seen the first 2 Rocky movies, but I definitely want to watch all of them. Maybe do like a Rocky marathon sometime. Watch all 6 Rocky movies and then both Creed movies. I've seen the first Creed, but I haven't seen Creed 2. But I'm picking Creed 2 up on Blu-ray when it comes out a week from tomorrow. But yeah, I might do like a Rocky marathon sometime. But anyways, next up, we've got Spider-Man Homecoming. This is a really cool steelbook, but I kind of wish they included the title somewhere on the front. But yeah, this is a really cool steelbook, and I really enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. I saw it in theaters, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that Spider-Man's part of the MCU, because, you know, I like Spider-Man. He's not like my favorite superhero, but he's definitely a good addition to the MCU in my opinion. And yeah, so anyways, next up, this was actually my first Blu-ray of 2019, and that is Lady Bird. I loved Lady Bird. I thought it was a really, really great movie. I've actually seen Lady Bird twice. I watched it in the theaters, and I watched it on a plane coming home from South Dakota over the summer, and I loved Lady Bird. I definitely want to give it a rewatch, but I loved it. Anyways, next up, I've got the steelbook for Logan, and I loved Logan. I remember going to see this in the theaters and just being absolutely blown away by how good this movie was. Definitely my favorite movie of 2017. But yeah, I loved Logan. I thought it was a really great movie, and yeah, I got the steelbook for like 15 bucks, and I'm pretty sure this is a Best Buy exclusive, but I got it at Walmart. I guess Walmart sells Best Buy exclusive steelbooks now. But yeah, I loved Logan. I thought it was a great movie, and it's, you know, like I said, my favorite movie of 2017. So yeah, anyways, next up we've got Drive on steelbook, and I loved Drive. I've only seen it once, but I definitely want to rewatch it, and yeah, I loved Drive. I thought it was a great movie, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And I got the steelbook for like 15 bucks, so I already owned it on Blu-ray, but I definitely had to pick up the steelbook. But yeah, anyways, you know, Fight Club is just a classic movie that, you know, it's I just recently rewatched Fight Club, and yeah, just really, really great movie. One of Brad Pitt's best roles, in my opinion. And also, this movie has one of the craziest twist endings I've ever seen in a movie. One of the best movie twists of all time, for sure. Anyways, next up we're getting into some MCU Blu-rays. I just recently finished completing my MCU Blu-ray collection. I got the rest of the movies that I needed to complete my MCU collection, so I now own every movie in the MCU on Blu-ray. So here are the ones that I picked up recently. Alright, so first up we've got Thor. I got all 3 Thor movies in one box set, and I believe that box set was from the UK, because as you guys can see there's like a little 12 sign on there, and I think that's on UK releases. But yeah, so I've seen the first Thor, but I watched it when I was really young, so I don't remember anything from it. But yeah, anyways, I've definitely seen it though. And then next up we've got Thor: The Dark World. I remember going to see this in the theaters and just absolutely hating it. I don't even remember anything about this movie, but I just remember going to see this in the theaters and I just hated it. Maybe after a rewatch I'll like it more, because I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters. So maybe after a rewatch I'll like it more, but yeah, anyways. Next up we've got Thor Ragnarok, which I haven't seen, because this came out pretty recently, right? I think this came out like a couple years ago. But yeah, haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, anyways. Next up, we've got Captain America, the First Avenger. This is actually the Blu-ray 3D, and I got this on eBay, and it came with the slipcover, obviously. I could have gotten just the regular Blu-ray for a cheaper price, but I ended up going with the Blu-ray 3D just because I prefer this cover over the cover for the regular Blu-ray. So I ended up getting the Blu-ray 3D, and it was a little bit pricey. It was like $22, but you know, it came with the slipcover, and yeah. So, anyways, I watched Captain America: The First Avenger, but kind of like with the first Thor, I saw this one when I was really young, so I don't remember anything from it. Yeah. Anyways, next up we've got Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I've heard a lot of praise for this movie, but I haven't seen it, so I definitely have to check this one out. Anyways, next up we've got The Incredible Hulk with the really cool lenticular slipcover, and it's kind of hard to find this particular release because it's out of print. But I got this on eBay for like $16, so, and it also has a green case, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I haven't seen Incredible Hulk, but yeah, I just definitely want to check it out. Anyways, next up we've got Doctor Strange, and I haven't seen Doctor Strange, but I definitely want to check it out because I thought he was great in Avengers: Infinity War, so I definitely want to see what his own solo movie looks like. So yeah, anyways, definitely want to check this one out. But anyways, next up we've got Ant-Man. Haven't seen either of the Ant-Man movies, so I can't really say anything about either of them, but yeah. Anyways, next up we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is actually a 4K. It's got a really cool lenticular slipcover. But yeah, I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp either, but I think this is the newest Marvel movie. Yeah, I think this came out after Infinity War. But yeah. Anyways, and then we've got Iron Man 3. I remember going to see this in the theaters, and I remember thinking it was okay, but like it wasn't great. But yeah. Anyway, so those are all the MCU Blu-rays. And there we got one final stack here. Alright, so first up we've got some steelbooks. First up we've got Deadpool and steelbook. And this is a really cool steelbook. You know, the first Deadpool, just such a fun movie. Deadpool as a character is hilarious. I love all the fourth wall breaks. That was always my favorite part of Deadpool. Because no superhero movie has really done that before, so that was really, I thought that was really original, and all of his jabs at like Wolverine and X-Men, I thought those were hilarious. But yeah, anyways, so the first Deadpool, really great movie, and this is a really cool steelbook as well. But yeah, anyways, next up we've got John Wick. I actually have both of the John Wick movies on steelbook, so we've got John Wick and then John Wick Chapter 2. I just recently rewatched both of these movies, and you know, I love the John Wick movies. John Wick, in my opinion, is definitely better than John Wick Chapter 2, but they're both really great action movies, and definitely looking forward to John Wick 3, which is coming out in May. Yeah, first John Wick, really great action movie. And then John Wick Chapter 2, I like John Wick Chapter 2. What I like about this movie is that it doesn't try to, you know, one-up the first movie. It's not trying to be, like, bigger than the first movie. Instead, John Wick 2 focuses more on, like, the world building, and that's what I really respected about John Wick 2, is that it didn't try to, you know, it didn't aim to be bigger than the first movie. So I really, really respected that about the second John Wick. But in my opinion, John Wick is definitely better than John Wick 2, but they're both really great movies. But anyways, next up we've got American Sniper. I haven't seen American Sniper, but I got it for like $8, so I've heard some really great things about it. But yeah, anyways, then we've got a movie that came out last year, and that is First Man. I got this for like 13 bucks, and I was kind of on the fence about getting this one on Blu-ray. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't know if I was going to get it on Blu-ray. But, you know, 13 bucks, it's a pretty good deal. So I ended up getting this on Blu-ray, and yeah, so anyways, next up we've got Mud. I haven't seen Mud, but it has Matthew McConaughey and Reese Witherspoon, and yeah, so I haven't seen it, but yeah, I got it for like $4, so anyways, then we've got Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I've heard really great things about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, but I haven't seen it, so I definitely want to check it out. But yeah. Anyways, next up we've got Life. This came out in 2017, and I remember going to see this in the theaters, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah. Anyways, Life, just a really, really great movie. Anyways, then we've got Searching. I actually watched this on my birthday last year in Arizona, and I love Searching. I just rewatched it a couple weeks ago. Just a really, really great movie. It's shot entirely from the perspective of a laptop screen, but, you know, it still delivers as much suspense as any other movie, and it's just a really, really great movie. I loved Searching, and yeah, really, really great movie. Anyways, then we've got Blade Runner. Yeah, I know, it's taken me a really long time to get this on Blu-ray, and a couple weeks ago I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go to Target and pick up Blade Runner on Blu-ray. I know I don't know why it's taking me so long to finally get this on Blu-ray, but yeah, I saw Blade Runner like 4 years ago, and I don't really remember anything from it, so I definitely have to give it a rewatch. But yeah. Anyways, then we've got A Star Is Born, which I just picked up on Tuesday. I did like a Blu-ray trip video for A Star Is Born. If you want to see it, definitely check it out. Yeah, I really liked A Star Is Born. On my top 15 movies of 2018 video, I think this is like number 6. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And on the Oscars last night, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga did like a live performance of the song Shallow, and I loved it. It was definitely my favorite part of the Oscars. And I didn't watch all of the Oscars last night, but I loved Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga's live performance. But yeah. Anyways, next up, this is actually a DVD, but I have the first season of This Is Us. I got this at Target on sale for like $12. So yeah, I got this the same day that I got A Star Is Born. And I actually ordered season 2 on eBay, and that's coming in the mail. Yeah, even though This Is Us isn't on Blu-ray, I wanted to own a physical copy of this show because it is just such a great show. And yeah, so I definitely wanted to own a physical copy of This Is Us because it's just such an amazing show. And anyways, finally, this is the last Blu-ray that I have, and then I'll get into like the bigger Blu-ray box sets that I picked up recently. And that is Sorry to Bother You. This came out last year, and I loved Sorry to Bother You. I thought it was a really, really original movie. I saw this in the theaters with my cousins, and I loved Sorry to Bother You. It was a really weird movie, but it just had such an original premise, and I loved Sorry to Bother You. I thought it was a really great movie, and definitely one that I had to pick up on Blu-ray. But yeah, if you haven't seen Sorry to Bother You, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was a really, really great movie in my opinion, and it has a really weird third act. And it definitely went in a direction that I did not see coming, but I thought it was a really great movie. And then now we're into the bigger box sets that I got recently. So this one I got, I think, like beginning of December, and that is the Dark Knight Trilogy Ultimate Collector's Edition. This is a really cool box set. It has obviously all 3 Dark Knight movies. Ah, shit. Oh my god. So I cut the camera for a second, and I had this big stack of Blu-rays, and it fell over, and yeah. Anyways, so the Dark Knight Trilogy Ultimate Collector's Edition, it's got all 3 Dark Knight movies, of course. It's got some exclusive Mondo prints that are pretty cool. It's got like a book full of, it's like a 48-page book of images, a letter from Christopher Nolan. So it's just a really cool set. Yeah, so I've seen The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. I don't think I've seen Batman Begins, but I definitely want to watch all 3 in order. Yeah. But I got this set on eBay for like $60. So really, really cool set. And I got it for a really great deal too, because I got it brand new and everything for $60 on eBay. So definitely couldn't go wrong with that. But anyways, then we've got the Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza. This is a beautiful box set. Obviously, we've got a replica of the Nakatomi Plaza from the first Die Hard. And you open it up, it opens up right here. And that's where the discs are. And one of my favorite things about this set is that it comes with the unrated version of Live Free or Die Hard on Blu-ray. Because I have the DVD of Live Free or Die Hard with the unrated cut, but you know, it's all scratched up, you can't even watch it. But now this set has the Live Free or Die Hard unrated cut on Blu-ray, so that's one of my favorite things about this set. This is a really, really beautiful set. You get all 5 Die Hard movies, you got like a behind the scenes booklet, some character cards, and obviously this beautiful replica of the Nakatomi Plaza. So it's really, really cool set. And then finally, we've got the Breaking Bad barrel. Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time. I've seen it all the way through 3 times, and yeah, so it opens up like this. That's where you get all the discs, and this is just like a little book. It's like an episode guide. And then you open up the top like this, and you get a disc right there, and then you get some other cool stuff in there. Like this is an apron, which I haven't opened it yet. It's a Los Pollos Hermanos apron, which is pretty cool. And then there's a couple other things in there, but yeah, Breaking Bad, like I said, my favorite show of all time, and super glad to have the barrel set. Yeah, really excited for the Breaking Bad movie, which is coming out, I think, hopefully like sometime like by the end of 2019 or beginning of 2020. But really, really looking forward to that. But yeah, anyways, that was a Blu-ray update for you guys of all the Blu-rays that I've got recently. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm exhausted from filming this video. I've been filming this for about 2 hours now, so yeah, anyways, I'm definitely going to take a break from collecting Blu-rays after I get Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is coming out tomorrow, and Creed 2, which is coming out a week from tomorrow. After that, I'm definitely taking a break from collecting Blu-rays because I've just been spending way too much money on Blu-rays lately. I gotta take a break from collecting Blu-rays for a while, so yeah, probably after I get those 2, I'm probably gonna take a break until like summer at least. And yeah, but I'm definitely gonna be taking a break from collecting Blu-rays. But anyways, that was a Blu-ray update for you guys. Sorry if this video was kind of long, but just wanted to do kind of like an in-depth Blu-ray update. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. This was today's vlog, so yeah. Anyways, stay tuned for my Ralph Breaks the Internet Blu-ray trip. That will be tomorrow's vlog, and yeah. Alright, bye guys.